Teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Chantal's I Let My Husband Control Me video. Can we please talk, hopefully over the call to prayer that has just started, can we please talk about how much I hate the thumbnail of this? Like, she's clearly clickbaiting DV, right? And she's got that picture of her in the mirror where he's holding her neck like that. In a way she knows can be misconstrued as that. And it just really left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Like, that's not okay. And you as a person who claimed to be in an abusive relationship should have more respect for DV victims. Now I know that's not who Chantal is, because screw anybody who isn't her, but I think it was in particularly poor taste. I do realise that I think it was in particularly poor taste could be the title of her autobiography, could be the inscription on a tombstone at this rate. But anyway, let's get into it.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video.
Hello.
So, I hope you're all doing well.
Sure
now the title of my video was probably a bit shocking for you guys.
She wants it to be shocking for us. It's just kind of disgusting.
I do plan on explaining what I mean by that.
Just clickbaiting me.
How I let my husband control me. First, I just want to say that just a little bit of an update with how I'm doing. For those of you who don't know,
everybody knows you're not getting any new viewers with your travel content, but fill those minutes.
I suffer from binge eating disorder and food addiction, and I have been this way for as long as I can remember in my life, you know, even as a kid.
Just in case you are new, I can't imagine anybody is, but just in case you've stumbled upon this video, Chantal has been to therapy once with a number of therapists, but has never actually pursued proper help for any of this, even though she's been assigned a number of personnel, a number of teams, and a number of opportunities to do so, more so than a lot of people have access to, because she's scared to go through the process and she's not actually going to get better. So when she says, oh, I went to therapy many times, she went for introductory sessions and then stopped going, or she'd miss appointments. She's highly non-compliant.
I was always obsessed with food in a very unhealthy way. I would, use food for comfort. That developed into using food for comfort, and food has just always been the main focus center of my life. And I have a lot of food noise in my head. It's just always food.
Food noise doesn't seem like her phrase. I wonder what sites she's been reading that might be giving her too much credit for research. I wonder what TikTok she's been watching.
You know, what am I going to eat next? Just always thinking about food, obsessing about food. So I have talked about this ad nauseum on my channel, and I probably will continue to talk about, some of my struggles.
It is most of her life. It would not surprise me.
And stuff like that. So, but so far I'm on a winning streak, just doing well.
When she says streak.
I'm actually really happy with the little accomplishments I've been making. So, some of those accomplishments are I haven't binged in a while now. And well, a while for me is like probably a few days.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you say a while. So she has got a little note up here saying that she considers a few days a long time. And actually, from what I've watched of her, a few days is a long time for her. We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, of course. I don't want to say that she shouldn't be proud of small accomplishments, because I think the road is hard and you should be proud of anything you accomplish. But we have heard this from Chantal before. And while there is a wisdom to making small changes, especially if you're struggling, and so doing big changes all at once is very difficult, she is well past the point where small changes are going to save her. She has to do the big changes, and she's not doing them because she thinks, okay, well, if I do the little ones, it will be okay. I'll get out of the immediate danger. She's gone beyond that, quite frankly.
Since Thailand anyways, since being back home. In Thailand, I ordered a lot, and I did have some There were some times where, I would be alone and just watching a movie or whatever in the hotel, and I would order out again on top of having had supper and stuff like that.
Was anyone in doubt of that? Girl, we were there. We were there. Not even girl, lady, we were there. We saw you mow through the 2 popcorns and the potato corner and the chicken skins and all the things. We saw the visits to 7-Eleven. We saw the remains of the takeout. We saw the note the hotel sent you because you had so much trash. You don't need to recast this. We had it with our own eyes.
And then I would order snacks or go to the 7-Eleven and have snacks. And I realized, left to my own devices, being in private, I was able to just do whatever I wanted to, and was also able to hide things from my husband.
From us. We're the strongest relationship you have. There's a number of reasons this isn't going to work that we will get into, but who does Chantal think she's kidding right now?
Who's concerned about my health and my eating disorder. I will also...
So concerned that every comment he was making on the live streams were, yeah, I'm making a gym, not that we're going to use it.
This is new for him. He's a a person who doesn't have issues with food at all. They eat to live, and they don't think about food after, they've eaten. They're good. They don't...
Okay, but he's an adult, and he's been with you for 2 years. If he cared at all, he would have made an effort to understand the thing that was killing his beloved wife. So after 2 years, I don't consider that an excuse. Yes, you can't be in the head of someone going through it. It might be hard to picture it in that way if you don't have those problems, absolutely. But it's been 2 years, and he's had you in close quarters for most of that time. Unless there is something actually wrong with him, he can learn.
Think about their next meal after that. And I've been surrounded by normies my whole life. So, and when it comes to food, that's what I mean by normie. And so this is like a whole new thing for him. I did mention when we met, because I feel it's important to be transparent with somebody, especially if you're planning on marrying them.
Yeah, the 2 weeks you guys knew each other were very, special in terms of the communication you did, I'm sure.
And spending your life with them as a life partner, husband and wife, you're a unit, you're a family unit, you're a couple,
Too bad you're not married, eh?
Go through life together, the ups and downs, and I felt it was important for him to really know what my downs were.
Yeah, she is known for her honesty.
So I did, talk a bit about how I have issues with food, and I don't think at the time he really understood
that. I would understand, but could you imagine if your only source of information about this was Chantal? The bias that lady brings. Like, you show up and you're like, okay, what would you like me to do to help? And she changes her mind every 3 seconds, and she hates being controlled, which is one of the things we're going to talk about. Like, how unreliable a narrator do you need on this topic? And again, 2 years, he could have done his own research.
Full extent of it until he lived with me, and he would, see little signs of, when he would be sleeping, and then the next day there would just be like, some evidence of binges happening.
Like the mukbangs you recorded for the internet? Yeah, a little bit.
We're going through it, and he's actually really supportive in a lot of ways. In every way he could be. He's very encouraging, just today, throughout the day, just saying you're doing such a good job, because he knows he's very intelligent, and he knows he learns fast, so
but apparently doesn't learn fast enough to not trust anything you say. I don't believe it. And talking about the support, no, go back and read his comments in our live again. See what he said.
I already feel like he knows, kind of what it would be like for me and how hard it must be for me. So I'm glad that he can empathize with me and understand. and be patient. Like I really emphasize to him, like you really need to be patient if this is going to work.
But that's just going to mean whenever you want to do something, you're going to go, well, you have to be patient. You can't expect me to actually do it. Yes, I know I had a backup sandwich, but you can't expect overnight change 2 years in. If the diabetes and all the organ failure didn't help her to make this change, he's not going to be able to.
This is going to be like, there's a lot of ups and downs, and it's a very arduous journey.
Actually, no, there are going to be times where she tries to manipulate him. Like she's done this before when she was meant to be eating healthy and then decided, I can't remember when this was, but decided to go on a date night instead because then, look, no, we're doing something nice together as a couple. It's nothing about going and getting the food, even though that's what they did. Couldn't have taken a nice walk on the beach? Couldn't have gone somewhere? No, had to go out to eat. So we'll have highs in terms of that, in terms of a means to an end, but mostly it's going to be tantrums.
And it's not something that everybody wants to or can take on as a partner, being a supportive partner. So
it's not about can. What a horrible position you're putting him into. Now, I don't care about his feelings. I think he's generally awful. However, you cannot put the responsibility for your healing onto your partner, onto any other person. The reason it's called self-control is because it involves yourself. And if you're going to make a change, it has to come from you. It can't come from somebody else. Now, outside factors can impact it, but it doesn't change you. Look at Foodie as an example. When she came to Kuwait, she couldn't get weed and she quit it, but she's still addicted to it. Whenever she goes back or has the opportunity to get it, she can't stop herself from getting it. Why would food be any different? Why should anyone bear the responsibility of your changes? What success do you think that can bring? All it's going to mean, because she is massively defiant at the best of times, all it's going to mean is she has someone to blame for not looking out for her well enough.
I let him control certain things now in my life. But there's a difference between like a narcissistic control, a control of asserting power over someone.
Well, she would know, wouldn't she?
Versus having your back. And what I'm talking about when I mean control is I'm letting him control things that I have no control over. So yes, I let him control me with eating now, ordering out. So I'm letting him help me with that. And what I mean by that specific...
Sorry, before she goes into that, again, I do not see that being successful. Now, Chantal is dependent on him in a number of ways, in most ways, in fact. She can't have a bank account because she doesn't have the proper paperwork to get it because she doesn't have a civil ID. So her money goes into his account because that's the only way they can receive it. So when she pays for things with his card, she's paying with the money that they put into that account. I say they because we don't know exactly what he brings in, but her YouTube money, she transfers over from Canada and puts it into his account. So that's one big red flag right there. And I know she's used to this, but at what point do you go, well, it's my money? Because you think Chantal won't do that. She's at the beginning of her cycle right now where she wants to be healthy and it's just a disease and guys, I'm trying as hard as I can. I'm making healthy choices. This doesn't last. If it did, she'd be in a very different position. And we know how fast she turns and we know what she gets like when she does. We saw her break down for 2 days because Nada wanted her to go on a 10-minute walk. What does she think she's going to do to him? She's going to send the money over and then he's going to go, okay, well, we're not eating out today. She said that he doesn't cook. So what, she's just going to say, okay, well, cook for yourself then, because she'll have a tantrum about it. And I don't think he'll care putting some fries in the air fryer. But is it going to be worth the nightmare of living with her? Because she's not going to be quiet about it at all. And she might be, oh, baby, let's go on a date or let's do something like that to get her way at first. But if it doesn't work, she's going to get nasty. I have had narcissists in my life. I know this.
I've decided to show him everything I eat, everything I put in my mouth. Like showing him what I eat, throughout the day.
When she says showing him, he has to be out a lot of the day, right? I know she sleeps a lot of the day, but he's usually not there. So how is she going to show him? She going to send pictures? I mean, she can, but do you really think Foodie isn't going to find a way around that? And that's where the conversation of, oh, you just have to be patient with me, because when she wants to eat and she can't get something, one of three things is going to happen. One, complete tantrum until he breaks down and orders whatever it is. Two, she's going to go into the kitchen and she's going to eat everything that's there because she can't get what she really wants. And three, she is going to find things to hurt him. I don't believe he loves her for a second. I don't know what his endgame is, but she needs to be alive for whatever the endgame is. It's her money going into that account. You think she's not going to turn around and say, no, I want control over my own money? I'm not actually against that, by the way. I think it's ridiculous that she does it. I would not want to be under the control of anyone else. But, oh, well, I can't get what I want, so why should I transfer the money to you? It's meant to be our money. I'm 40 years old. I can decide for myself. Yes, I know I said help me, but this is ridiculous. Leave me alone. You just don't understand binge eating. It's dangerous for me not to give in to cravings. And he doesn't cook, as she said, so she's going to cook. We saw the groceries they brought in. You're telling me she can't find a way around that kitchen if she wants something? I doubt it.
Anytime we eat out, it'll be together usually anyways, but there's no more of me just like turning to him and saying, hey, I'm going to order a 12-inch sub with some cookies and some chips. Oh.
He's going to wake up in the morning and he's just going to have, they send text messages here whenever you pay for anything. He's just going to have like 3 text messages of delivery orders.
Or I'm going to order Burger King because I want a chicken royal meal, you know. There's no more of that. So far, so good. Honestly, I'm not even like craving junk food, right?
She's already had the Substop, which I know she would argue isn't junk food because, look, it had vegetables on it, it's a sandwich. And there's definitely worse junk food out there, don't get me wrong. But she was sick for the entirety of Thailand. She had a terrible stomach issue for at least the second half of it. She was scared what was going to happen on the plane. She doesn't feel her best, so she doesn't want to eat now. That's not going to last. And if she's just fighting against someone who's controlling her, she's not going to build her own discipline because now it's all his responsibility.
Not fast food, because I got really bad food poisoning in Thailand. At least I think that's what it was.
No,
after
you
eating
didn't.
Some pretty disgusting junk.
Your stomach and the rest of your body rebelled because you were eating crap, and so you were crapping yourself, and you were sick and couldn't keep it in. The food was poisoning you, but it wasn't food poisoning. It was just a constant stream of food that's terrible for you, and your body couldn't take it.
It was like really nasty, like I don't know. I was eating like a whole bunch of cheese popcorn. I was eating like this place called Potato Corner. Like,
by the way, on the subject of cheese, she bought a ton of it in her grocery haul. Like, no, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm not going to eat out. And I realized those are two different things. She could still eat a ton of cheese and not eat out. That would be fine. She probably will, because she's not going to be able to get takeout, apparently. But I think she needs to be, if she wants this to work, which it never will with her personality, but if she wanted it to work, instead of having a vague idea of, oh, I like this on salads, she would have to have a much more concrete meal plan. And she can't stand anything that requires her planning. It makes her feel trapped.
Fried chicken skins and just like really fatty, really like food that's not like food products. I don't consider that like nutritious food. So
it's not.
I was really sick after, eating or overdoing it on junk food like that. It was just really toxic to my body.
So again, it's not food poisoning the illness, it's being poisoned by your food long term.
It had a really negative effect on my health. I became really ill, and though I'm feeling a lot better now, I still have that, like, when I think of certain foods, this particularly fried, fatty, non-nutritious food, I feel ill. And
that's why you haven't binged yet. Give it another few days.
You know, I'm very thankful for that right now, because I don't know if I had that feeling, if I would be so strong, if I would have that willpower.
It's not willpower. It's feeling disgusted right now. But the thing is, the fact that she is locking herself down, or at least attempting to, is just going to spin around her mind, because she's got a lot of mental issues around food. So the fact that she's being cut off by this outside force, even at her own request, is just going to make her want it more.
Same willpower. I don't know. I don't know if that will ever come back. I'm sure at some point I will get cravings for certain things. There's still things that I think I would overindulge on if I had in the house. So we did a healthier grocery order, you know, this time. Yeah, so I just basically, when I
still lots of cheese, but this time
I mean like controlling, I mean more like being really accountable to him. Yeah, I'm basically just holding.
How about being accountable to yourself? How about that? I don't think Salah has the ability, the training, or the willpower to deal with Foodie when she's withdrawing from food, or withdrawing from the food she loves. She wants him to essentially take the place of an inpatient facility, when she needs to be in an inpatient facility for this.
Myself more accountable than before. Before I had the mentality that I don't, you know, really need to be accountable to anyone but myself. But I think I need to surrender that idea for now, that I can control, that I'm in control, because I'm not.
She's absolutely not. But just for a minute, take that conversation off of Salah and think how she's reacted to her chats and to her comments whenever they've tried to offer her that same accountability, even after she's asked for it. Because that's how well this is going to go. They're going to have the fake marital version of a block party.
You know, and I know that I do need to be, but I do need some help with that at first. And being as my husband is like, he's my husband, he's my, you know, he's my supporter.
Guys, for real, I want her, like, she never leaves, but I want her to go out somewhere. I want him to drop her off for a coffee somewhere and be like, you know what, treat yourself to a coffee. And just while she's feeling quite strong, and then to go home and to put locks on all the cupboards and literally be there and be like, okay, what are we having for dinner? All right, here are the ingredients. See how she reacts to that. Like, I don't want anyone to live with kind of that level of control. I think it would be entirely inappropriate. But damn, the first time he tried it, I would laugh. Like, let's see what this really means as you clickbait it.
He protects me. He cares about me. He really cares about my health. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, being 40 and having diabetes, type 2 diabetes, you know, being with someone so unhealthy who can't do anything, and I don't want to be that way anymore either. I want to live life, and I want to do a lot in life. So
have you booked that nutritional session yet that you weren't doing for reasons that you wouldn't share with us because it was private? Because if you're cooking for yourself, that might be useful before you do the groceries. No? I'm guessing no. I'm guessing never.
Yeah, I've just been trying to also keep very busy. I find that I've just been really trying to, like, you know, organize my home more, keep it very clean, which as somebody who's very sedentary, rigorous housework is a lot of exercise for me.
I mean, any housework is rigorous for her because movement is rigorous for her. So that's fine. Like, any movement is good movement when it comes to just keeping her mobile. But our house is only so big and you can only organize it so much. And she herself has not been living there, so it's not that big of a mess, or it won't be, because Salah doesn't seem to live that way. What she needs is hobbies. And I know she would cry out to the sky if anyone mentioned a craft of some kind. But she needs a hobby. She needs something that will fill her time.
And I find it takes me a longer time than it would a fit person to complete their whole house of housework. So yeah, I kind of just like do it in parts.
Absolutely. But she also hates cleaning. She does it now. She doesn't live in the kind of filth she did live in, although she slips sometimes. But it's not something she enjoys. So if she had a hobby that she liked, she could at least switch it for that, something she looked forward to doing.
And you know, it's exercise for me for sure. You know, like lugging things around, mopping, bending, cleaning the fridge and stuff like that. It's good exercise for now. So I've just been trying to keep my mind busy with like planning for future things, like thinking of, you know, things I'd like to do, hobbies I'd like to maybe take up. But
I want to hear which ones. This is what I need.
I'm really just focused on trying to get healthy and just taking it day by day, and that's what I'm doing. And with Salah, my husband's help as well. So, is my husband? Salah's not an almond husband, which for those of you who don't know, an almond husband is big.
Yes, please lecture me on the phrase you've heard on TikTok. Please do.
Basically, a husband, a partner who is very conscious around food, like very...
Yeah, no shit. He lives off dino nuggies.
Very health conscious around food and stuff like that. I think anyways, I heard that term recently and I was like, yeah, he's not, but he
lives
prefers,
off his air fryer.
Like he does have a sweet tooth, so he likes to eat sweets, but he doesn't overindulge. Like he'll have like a chocolate and then that'll be it, you know? He won't have like 3, 4, 5 chocolate bars, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll just have like
62 in the guest bowl, yeah. 24 ice creams.
One, and he'll eat his meals and that'll be it. And sometimes he only eats like once a day. You know, if I make him a really big healthy breakfast in the morning, that's all he'll really eat, and then he'll have maybe a chocolate bar at night. But he prefers like real home cooked food over ordering out any day.
Again, he lives off fries in the air fryer and pasta. Not that that's not real food, but it's not exactly like a home cooked meal.
And he prefers to eat healthy. So, that's good, because if I was with a partner who was just like me, we would be, or somebody who encouraged me to eat unhealthy, or somebody who was like, you know, I don't mind that you eat that. You're perfect the way you are, babe. I love you the way you are.
That seems like a quote. We're going to see how long this lasts, because when this turns, and it will turn soon, we may hear exactly that, because that's what she wants to hear at the end of the day. And she's saying she doesn't right now because there's a small part of her that recognizes that this won't last and that she does need to change, but it just isn't a strong enough voice.
And that's not okay, because that's very dangerous. And at that point, that's where, you know, enabler status comes in. But
I wonder if this is a slight dig at Anne Boleyn as well.
You know, it's not his responsibility for me, you know, I'm responsible for what I put in my mouth at the end of the day. So
why are you making him responsible? If you're responsible for what goes in your mouth, why are you setting him up like a guard? It's just going to lead to terrible things.
It's, you know, but I will give him the go-ahead to hold me accountable, basically. Hi, baby girl. So I give him that control in that way. I give him in the driver's seat in that sense. So
is he cooking from now on? I don't think so.
Because he did say, you know, Salah said something to me before that was just really like made me rethink everything about, you know, accepting your partner, accepting you for how you are. And he said, you know, I'm your husband, I'm your family now. Like if I love you, truly love you, I'm worried about your health. Like if I didn't love you, I wouldn't care, you know? So, you know, he does have that mentality that you're beautiful.
Okay, he didn't even stay. You live streamed right after you got back from Thailand, still pretty sick, and he wasn't even there. After you being away for like a month, how much do you think he really loves you? What are you mistaking as love? Tolerance? I'm genuinely asking.
But I don't want you to die. Like, I want you to be here for a long time. I want you to travel with me. I want you to,
I bet he does.
Just do a lot of things with me, do a lot of things together, and not be unhealthy. And so have a better quality of life. You know, it hurts him to see me in pain with the sciatica and everything else. And then just also, like, you know, not being able to breathe from walking, or just this and that. So
this and that seems so light for the things she's just referenced.
I'm going to choose my heart, and I'm really going to try to keep it that.
Did she just say she's going to choose her hard? Man, she has been going on the inspirational TikToks, hey?
Focusing on this journey, basically. So that's what I plan on doing.
Right.
Staying on track. Hopefully it works out. We'll see.
It'll be a complete surprise to you because you're not in control of this anymore, right?
But so yes. So he's a lot more involved than before. You know, before I didn't really want to hear it, and I would actually be defensive with him about it, and kind of just like anyone else.
Not just like anyone else. Foodie is in a category of her own with that. But no, that doesn't shock me, or indeed anyone who's watched you for any length of time. And this is exactly what you're going to revert to when you feel like, no, I don't want this level of control anymore. I want to be left alone to do what I want. She's going to try sweetness with manipulation. She's going to try tears and depression, and I really need this. She's going to try, well, you're ignorant and you don't know about these things and you don't know how you're damaging me. She's going to try anything to get the fix she wants. And I personally would not want to deal with it. You want to kill yourself with food? Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to stand in your way if you're determined to jump off of that cliff. I will try to help you, but I'm not about to take bullets for it.
Like, kind of like, I got this. I just want to handle it on my own. I just want to, you know, I don't want you to criticize me for what I'm eating. I don't want to hear it. Like, I just want to eat in peace. Like, just leave me alone. Just let me indulge on my Burger King and don't have any opinion on it.
And that's where that's going to end. What I would probably do in this case, if I was in this situation, okay, I'm not going to sit there and hold you back from the cupboards. That's a choice you make. But if the money is going into his account, and Foodie, let's face it, and I'm not saying this would be a good thing to do because this would be very manipulative, but Foodie can't go back to Canada. Yes, she could fly back, but she doesn't have the means to set herself up, and she doesn't have the credit to set herself up anywhere because she was going to try and it ended up being too hard. So you could say, I love you enough not to enable you. You are making your own choices here. I'm not going to hold you back, but I am taking my card off the delivery app. And if she really wants it, she can figure out how to go outside herself. Because I'm betting she would. I'm betting we would see her out in the world real quick if it was the only way for her to get food. I can say, I will go and do the shopping, make me a meal plan list, give me a list of ingredients. I'll go and shop it. And I will deliver the food to you. If she eats all the food, that's up to her. But I could choose to not enable and then also leave the direction of it, the choice of it, up to her. You'd be like, okay, you do what you want. These are the means we have. But that's where it should end, I think. When you're like, okay, no. Because Foodie really doesn't have that kind of control. She tries to assert it, certainly, but she can't drive legally in the country. There doesn't seem to be any big places close to her, although I'm sure she'd have a go. And if he gets rid of the app or leaves the app and just takes his money off of it, she's going to be in real trouble. You can do cash on delivery, but when can she go out and get cash? Okay, fun and games. There's a cut there because my storage on my phone filled up. I took off this video and the members video that I had recorded directly before this because that's why my phone was filling up. And not only did I lose my place in this video, and I'm trying to find it again now, I've realized that when I hit the file limit on my Bake Off React, it didn't click onto a new one and half of my React hasn't recorded. So I gotta go back and re-record it. Oh, it's a fun time. But hey ho, I think I found my place and let's continue.
You know, no, I'm gonna totally let him criticize me for that. I'm totally gonna let him criticize me. And
yeah, totally. She's so good at accepting criticism, you guys.
I'm totally going to let him tell me no, and I'm totally going to let him control this part of my life that I have no control over. So yeah, I just wanted to explain a bit about that, because a lot of people ask me and wonder, like, what's your husband's role in your eating, eating disorder recovery, in your food addiction recovery, in your weight loss journey? What is your husband's opinion on this? Yeah, so that's basically what it is. He's never nasty. He's just supportive, and he's never like nasty about it.
She did say that all the comments he was making in the chat were just their banter. I don't believe it. I think he does have, what's a good word for this? Contempt a little bit for her, or for it perhaps. But man, is he gonna see a side of her. Like, I know that he does to an extent, because there's no way she can hide herself for that long. She's not that good an actress, but this is going to be another level.
Or, we joke together, which is totally fine. I'm not really uptight. I'm not an uptight person about that. Like, I'm just, I have a sense of humor about my life, my situation a lot of the time. So you guys know, like, I like to laugh.
We know something. I don't think that's what we know.
Myself sometimes.
Sometimes
depends on my mood, I guess. But
yeah, it's not like your mood is changeable.
Yeah, so that's about it. That's all I wanted to say. Just so you guys know the dynamic we have when it comes to that, this particular topic.
Yeah, so stop criticizing my husband, you guys. He totally loves me.
And yeah, so inshallah, this will be the time that I can finally make these lifestyle changes.
But this time over all the others, this time when you're absolutely leaving it to somebody else in the hopes that you don't have to take personal accountability and responsibility for the actions, I've got a feeling this isn't going to be the time.
And I feel different. About food.
Because you're sick.
I just feel right now like I really just no longer want to harm my body, but I just do need that support so bad from him. And I feel lucky that he like understands, like he's like younger than me, and he's not familiar with this kind of situation.
2 years.
He could have been like, nope, I'm out of here.
That will probably prove to have been the smarter choice.
So I'm happy that he's like on board. He's very, very, very supportive of me, and he's very, very doting and involved in my healthcare. So
involved she hasn't been to the nutritional place yet.
Anyway, other than that, I'll have some health updates in the future,
I'll bet.
Some weigh-ins and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Okay. I'm sure this is totally the beginning of the rest of her life. Yeah, we've been through this cycle before. I don't foresee it ending differently. Maybe one day it will, but the longer I've been here, the more I doubt it. So I don't see this as a particularly healthy way to approach this. I don't believe it teaches you any kind of personal responsibility or any kind of self-discipline because you're relying on somebody else's discipline. Maybe that is what she needs, but certainly not in this setting. This should be done with professionals. This isn't something I would want to burden somebody I claim to love with. I don't think it would be good for a relationship. That's where having someone more removed from you might be helpful, so you've got those lines. But I'm not Foodie, thankfully, and I don't get to make these decisions for her, unlike Salah, apparently. So I guess we'll see. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go re-record that other video now, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.